ilm al-huruf. So they only succeed in fooling themselves. في قلوبهم مرض. In their hearts is disease, marad. في قلوبهم مرض. Marad here is shubuhat and shahawat. They have the marad of shubuhat, which is doubts in their understanding. They don't have any certainty about anything. They're mudhabdibun, they oscillate. When they're with the believers, they're with the believers. When they go back to their shayateen, they're with their shayateen. So they're sick people. فَزَادَهُمْ اللَّهُ مَرَضًا. This is, Allah allows them to get sicker. لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. And they have a painful torment. They're tormented in their own beings. بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْذِبُونَ. Because of what they were. Because of the lies that they tell to themselves and to others. So they're lying to themselves and they're lying to others. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. This is really, I think, one of the most amazing qualities that you see in these people. If you say to them, don't make trouble. He uses make trouble, sow corruption. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. I don't know how he does it in his final translation, but here he says make trouble in the earth. If they're told don't make trouble in the earth, they say they are only doing good. قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون. They say we are only doing good. So Islah, one of the commentators of the Quran said the first proof that they're mufsidun is they claim to be muslihun. Because a true person who's doing good, they never claim they're doing good. They just do it. So the fact that they're saying, oh, we're muslihun, that's a proof that they're mufsidun. What does the Prophet say? Ma uridu illa al-islah. I only want islah. He doesn't say I'm muslih. He says I want islah, which is very different from saying you're a muslih, because it's not a claim. قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون. Because in the end, Allah is the one who decides. إِنَّا أَوْيَاكُمْ لَعَلَى هُدًى أَوْ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. Either I or you are on guidance or astray. The Prophet was told to say that to the disbelievers, even though we're certain that he was on guidance. He was told to say to them, Allah knows who's guided. One of us is guided. It's right? Making opposite claims. One of the claims has to be true. It's either raining or it's not raining. God exists or he doesn't exist. The Prophet ﷺ is a prophet or he's not a prophet. One has to be true, because that's the law of the excluded middle. Right? They can't both be true. So, for those who accept, they have aman. That's why it's called iman, because they've entered into this state of security. For those who reject, we have to wait. تَرَبَّصُوا فِينِي مَعَكُم مِّنَ الْمُتَرَبِّصِينَ. Let's all wait. We'll see. انتظروا. Let's just wait. Allah says, wait. We'll see. We're going to see. So nobody should just hurry this thing up. We don't want to hasten. Just let it take its course. We'll see who's true and who's not true. We're going to Yawm al-Qiyamah. We believe it's real. If somebody doesn't believe it's real, that's their prerogative. Allah has given them that prerogative. Allah, out of his generosity to his creation, has given them free will. They can either accept his gifts with gratitude or accept his gifts with ingratitude. It's one or the other, but they're all getting the gifts of Allah. And the greatest gift is participation in being. The fact that we exist, that Allah has enabled us to come into the world and participate in this extraordinary epiphany, this extraordinary theophany of divine attributes. I mean, it's just incredible. So, and then أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْمُفْسِدُونَ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. See, it's like a subconscious thing. They're doing this ifsad, and they really don't. They're not even aware of it. They're fooling themselves. And this is the people that, all these do-gooders that go out and do these horrible things. I mean, somebody said to me, they were like talking about helping the women of Afghanistan here. And I felt like, I think they've had enough of America's help. It's just, I think they've had enough. People need to be left alone to sort their problems out. This poor situation in Pakistan, so many hopes were put on, because the people live in that incredible corruption, and it's horrible. And many of the best and brightest of that country live now in America for one reason, because there's rule of law and that they could actually flourish here. Many of them would much rather be in their own culture, amongst their own family, but it was unbearable. For many people, it's just unbearable to be in those situations. And so opportunities arise for them to have a better life for their children. And that's, hijrah is a very natural thing to want to do, to better your situation. But it's like in the reluctant fundamentalist, when, he tells his classroom, in America they have this thing called the American dream. What's the Pakistani dream? To get a green card to America? It's, so somebody shows up, and people can say whatever they want. People say all these things. I have husn al-dhan. He appeared to me to be a man who lived a very big life, made a tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and wanted to do something for his country, and was trying to do something, and actually invited us to be part of that in his Rahma al-Alameen and the Al-Qadir University. I mean, he was trying to do something, but it's like Sultan Abd al-Hamid, and I'm not comparing the two, but Sultan Abd al-Hamid, he was a lone figure amidst all of this corruption. How much could one person do? If you don't have the people around you, هُوَ الَّذِي أَيَّدَكَ بِنَصْرِهِ وَبِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ. He gave you victory with those believers. Look at the people around the Prophet ﷺ. Look how difficult it was at the early portion when he didn't have protectors. I mean, it was very difficult for him. His own people were being persecuted. When Omar came and Hamza came, it was this huge spiritual uplift for those people, because now they had some people that were going to let other people know that if you mess with these people, there's consequences. People need protectors. So there's all these people that have their hopes, and